Joining us now for more on the Labour Party and next month's election, here is Dickson Iroegbu, a member of the Labour Party. Dickson, glad to have you join us on Newsnight.
Thank you.
Well, let's just start. Good evening to you. Let's start from that talk about the threat to life of Ozo, where he was saying security agencies to do all they possibly can to make sure that law and order is maintained. Of course, in the East is where you have, where Mondays and Fridays up till this moment, nothing has been done about the fact that people don't go about their business activities. Sit at home, yeah, that's what it is called. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sad, but let's not isolate Imo and Southeast away from Nigeria. The insecurity in Nigeria is all over the place. However, that of the Southeast, which used to be the most peaceful part of Nigeria, calls for concern. I agree completely. Sometimes I just wonder, I said, this is not who we are. I'm from the Southeast, and this is not about us at all. This is not what we represent as a people. They are fifth columnists about what this goings on in the Southeast. For me, I think sincerely that there's a lot more to what is happening in the Southeast, and there's a need to listen to what the senatorial candidate of the Labour Party talked about. There's a need for the government of the day to reassure all Nigerians, not just the Southeast alone, but all Nigerians, that we're safe and that this election will be free, fair, and violent-free.
I wonder how much of a concern it is for your party and your presidential candidate, considering that a lot of people will say that is his stronghold, perhaps the strongest region he can lay claims to ahead of the forthcoming elections.
My candidate.
Do you think elections will hold there? Are there concerns? Are there fears such as that?
Election will hold in every part of Nigeria. I'm very sure of that. And it's not Southeast alone that, like I said, that we have insecurity issues. And by the way, my candidate is not isolated to the Southeast. He's not a Southeastern candidate. He's a Nigerian candidate. And every part of Nigeria where you go to, the P2B emergence is a Nigerian consciousness. We are tired of the backwardness. We are tired of the obvious failure of both PDP and APC. So let's not attempt, every attempt, by the way, to narrow P2B's candidacy to just the Southeast has failed. He's not a Southeast candidate. However, I also will appeal to the media not to single out the Southeast when it comes to the issue of insecurity. We must be deliberate to say insecurity in Nigeria should be tackled, whether it's happening in the north or the south, southwest, south, northeast, northwest, north central. It should be tackled.
But the media reports all insecurity.
I agree, but when we now say, that the happenings in the southeast could now deny the candidate of Labour Party from securing his base and all of that, it doesn't help in any way. Right. The narrative should be that the Nigerian society should be secured for all to have a free and fair process to choose who they want to choose.
I'm sure to talk about that because that is
on the 25th of February.
That is his strongest base.
His strongest base is Nigeria.
Most likely to get his strongest votes.
His strongest base.
You can't deny that.
Now, sir.
Let's talk about.
If you would allow me.
I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
Let's talk about. There's been talk that his campaign strategy is tending towards the minorities in the north, and that seems to be raising dust for the majority as well, where his deputy, Dati Ahmed, hails from. So is that supposed to be, do you think that strategy is really going to work, or is it working? And why the strategy anyway?
What strategy?
Of tending towards the minorities in the north and not concentrating on the majorities in his campaigns in Benue and some other states that I can't quite remember now.
You see, first, this campaign started off with people saying it's 4 people tweeting from a room. That's how it started. All sorts has been said about P2P emergence. It's not a minority thing. He knows, and we know, that he will not emerge president of Nigeria by minority. So there's no way, therefore, the strategy will be focusing on the minority. These are all narratives painted by those in the opposition who have continued with all sorts of narrative to continue balkanizing the Nigerian system. And it won't work. P2B is the major factor in this 2023 election. And every other narrative has failed. Everything that, they said, oh, it was a social media ranting and that we'll get tired. It's obvious, we're not tired. Because for goodness sake, insecurity knows no tribe. It knows no majority or minority. Hunger knows no tribe. It knows no majority or minority. So we must, and that's why I say to the media, this country belongs to all of us. First, you're a Nigerian before being a media practitioner. This country has to be safe for all of us. P2B is now obviously the conscience of the nation. Nigerians are tired of this lackluster approach of the previous people who have held sway in governance. We want a new direction, and that's what P2B brings to the table. People said, oh, how will he even have access to the north? Today, he's the most discussed in the north, where you would have emirs, imams, and all of them endorsing and saying, I'm sorry?
Really? You think he's the most discussed?
But he is. Really? Because where is the capital of poverty in the world? It's northern Nigeria. And P2B brings a solution to what, will end poverty in northern Nigeria.
I'm glad you
So why
said
would
that.
they discuss him?
Yes, I mean, he has repeatedly said the poverty capital is in the north.
Not he.
The
that's what
statistics show. But,
thank you.
But
it's not P2B's opinion.
Reiterated.
He has also reiterated so many times.
Yes.
But when you look at his campaign train, it has yet to make a stop in core north.
Really?
Yes.
Where is the core north, please?
We're talking about Katsina, Kaduna,
He was in Katsina.
Kano.
He has been to Kaduna.
He
has been to Borno. He has been to Kano.
And
he has been to every part of Nigeria.
But when he goes to those places,
yes,
the question is, he tends to appeal to the minority groups.
Who isolated this minority?
And some will say that, Mr. Iroegbu, some will say it's no longer news that the Southern Middle Belt Forum have endorsed Peter Obi as the candidate. Is it perhaps tending towards, the plight of minority across the country? Talking about minority ethnic groups, minority religion. Is that what is going on here?
There's no minority religion in Nigeria. There's no minority ethnic group in Nigeria. We're all Nigerians, whether you are from the north, south, whether you're Igbo, Hausa, Ibibio, Ijaw, or Ishikiri, we're all Nigerians. So there's no minority. I think we've had enough of this hurting of the Nigerian people. P2B is reaching out to all Nigerians. Beyond that, he's also particularly reaching out to the future of Nigeria, the youth. There's no other candidate in this contest that is reaching out, having town hall meetings different from all that others are doing with young people, students, reassuring them that jackpying out of your country is not a solution. The best you can do is get involved in selecting the next crop of leaders in your country.
Get much in because
there's no minority that he's reaching out to. He's reaching out to all Nigerians, and that's why I said P2B is not an Igbo candidate. He is a Nigerian candidate. He is not a candidate for the minority. He is a candidate for the majority of Nigerians who, like I said, have established here that hunger knows no minority.
All right.
Hunger, insecurity knows no minority. So we're all in it.
All right.
Why won't he reach out to everybody? And he's reaching out to all.
Let me ask you this, because we don't have all time in the world. Which of the 4 geopolitical zones is Labour Party? Let me use the word.
6 geopolitical zones.
Yes, 6. Sorry,
yes.
6. Which of the 6?
Yes.
Because I'm talking. Why I called for was that the parties need to get 4 of each to be able to. Yeah, I agree. There's no doubt about that. I didn't say. I just said it was. I was talking about getting 4 out of the 6 that will guarantee you that you have a stand as a president. So which of those 6 is P2B looking at getting in his kitty to be able to win the election? Or is he banking on a runoff?
P2B
banking on, Labour Party banking on a runoff as a bargaining tool?
No, P2B is not. I maintain again, the media should please help this country. Our campaign is not about.
Keep on calling the media. The media is doing its own bit.
I'm seated with the media. I'm seated with the media, and so I should tell the media also that because this country belongs to us. It belongs to all of us. P2B's target is the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, all the local governments in Nigeria, all the wards in Nigeria, all the polling units in Nigeria. That is his target. We're not targeting for geopolitical zones. The 6 geopolitical zones are important to us as a party, and the candidate has clearly demonstrated his love for all Nigerians. You know, I didn't know that there was a day, that would come a day in Nigeria when Northerners, Southerners will look beyond primordial parochial sentiments and, you know, push for what unites all of us. What unites all of us now is that candidate who is competent, who has the capacity, who has the character, who is consistent,
are yet to hold.
and all of that. So the elections are yet to hold, but like I said, he was not even given a chance. People said he was going to fizzle out. Just
some will say you are very optimistic by saying
no, it's not being optimistic. It's actually the fact on the table. The polls have told us how clearly.
Those are your facts. Those are your facts.
What about the polls?
If we were to go to the polls tomorrow,
yes,
the Constitution states clearly the criteria candidates must meet to emerge the president of Nigeria.
At least meet.
24%.
At least meet.
Majority, 24%. 25% in 24 states and the FCT.
Yes.
Which states will Peter Obi be winning? And like Indy said, there are 6 geopolitical zones. For you to have a good standing, you must have at least 4 of those geopolitical zones. If we were to go to the polls tomorrow, which of those 6 will Peter Obi be grabbing?
Let me assure you that what will happen on the 25th of February will shock a lot of us. We'll realize that Nigerians are done with the cock and bull stories from the politicians. The 6 geopolitical zones will decide that...
Cock and bull? Your candidate is a politician? Are you
no, cock and bull from the regular known political houses. The PDP and the APC have held sway in the since 1999.
He was part of the PDP.
No. Please, let's correct that.
He's also a politician.
Yes, he's a politician, but this politician is different from the Bala Blue politicians.
Thank you. I see what you're doing there with the town hall and all of that. Thank you for coming on the news tonight.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it.